The Secret Garden, Chapter 1, Part 2. Mary frowned at the lonely image. For a moment, she felt small, as if the house itself judged her. But then she straightened her back. A spark of defiance rose, stronger than the silence around her. She let the sheet fall to the floor. The sound echoed in the room, like a promise waiting to be kept. The shadows deepened slowly, stretching across the floor, as though the night itself was moving closer. She stood very still, listening for a sound, but all she heard was the echo of her breath. Her hand hovered uncertain, fingers trembling in the quiet, as if the choice before her was heavier than stone. The room seemed alive, walls holding their silence, like witnesses waiting for her to decide. She let her shoulders fall, the weight of hesitation slipping into the stillness, like water into dark earth. She reached for the light, hesitating at the edge of change, the moment trembling softly in her waiting hand. The glow touched her skin, gentle, uncertain, warm, as if it too wondered what she would choose. She lingered there, caught between the present and the shadow of tomorrow, both calling her name. The silence thickened, filling the air with weight until it felt like a presence of its own. Her eyes searched the dark, seeking a shape, a sign, but only emptiness returned her gaze. Her pulse quickened quietly, each beat a reminder that she was alive, that something waited beyond. She took one step forward, the floor creaking faintly, like a secret whispered into the night. The air seemed colder now, pressing against her skin, urging her either to move or turn back again. Her breath clouded the silence, a fragile rhythm in the dark, marking the thin line between fear and courage. The window gleamed faintly, reflecting a pale shimmer, as if the stars outside had bent down to watch. She placed her hand gently against the glass surface, feeling the night hum through its cool skin. Her reflection stared back, eyes wide, uncertain, waiting, as though another version of her lived inside the pain. She whispered a question, but no answer came, only the echo of longing that lingered in her chest. The curtain shifted faintly, stirred by an unseen draft, like the room itself exhaled in quiet anticipation. She turned slowly, carefully, each movement deliberate, as though her body feared to disturb the air. The floor beneath her feet felt heavy with memory, carrying traces of steps long vanished into silence. Her hands curled slightly, not into fists of fear, but into anchors to keep her steady. The darkness leaned closer, a quiet companion at her side, offering both comfort and a quiet warning. Her lips parted gently, as though about to speak, yet no words emerged, only a breath of resolve. She lowered her gaze slowly, studying the path before her, and the floor stretched on, like an endless decision. She lifted her chin again, eyes steady, heart stronger, ready to face the unknown waiting in the shadows. The silence deepened, holding her in its arms, a stillness that felt heavy yet strangely protected. She touched the wall lightly, fingers grazing its surface, as if it could guide her through the unseen. A faint sound arose, distant yet familiar, like footsteps woven into the memory of walls. Her pulse quickened suddenly, echoing inside her ears, a reminder of the thin thread between presence and absence. She tilted her head, listening, but the sound dissolved, slipping back into silence, like a dream interrupted. Her shoulders relaxed slightly, though doubt still lingered, a shadow pacing quietly behind her thoughts. The window dimmed further as clouds crossed the sky, muting the light of stars with soft layers of gray. She drew a long breath, letting the air settle inside her, a fragile balance forming between fear and strength. Her footsteps resumed, measured and deliberate, as if the floor itself were teaching her patience. The room seemed to stretch, walls breathing outward, turning each step into a passage toward something unseen. Her hand brushed the doorknob, cold and unyielding to touch, a reminder of thresholds yet to be crossed. She paused at the doorway, heart still, eyes wide open, waiting for courage to rise like morning light. The silence wavered faintly, as though listening back, measuring her resolve with its invisible gaze. Her fingers tightened slightly, then released their grip, uncertain whether the moment belonged to retreat or advance. The shadows deepened slowly, gathering in corners of the room, like quiet witnesses to her decision. Her breath rose again, gentle yet unwavering, a quiet declaration that she was still here. She stepped across the line, the floor sighing beneath her, and the night unfolded like a secret revealed. The air shifted instantly, thicker, heavier, watchful, as though the room itself had been waiting for her. Her heartbeat steadied, no longer racing wildly, but moving in rhythm with her slow steps. She sensed the weight of time, folding softly around her a presence both ancient and entirely her own. Her eyes adjusted gradually, finding shapes in the dark, each outline a question without an answer. She traced a faint figure, half-formed and uncertain, yet familiar enough to stir her memory. The figure leaned inward, not of flesh, but of shadow, woven from whispers of forgotten days. Her lips parted slightly, wanting to speak its name, but the silence urged her to remain still. The shadow did not move, but it breathed faintly, as if echoing her heartbeat with quiet patience. She tilted her head again, searching for its meaning, but the figure dissolved, returning to the dark. Her chest loosened softly, relief and longing mingling, leaving her caught between presence and absence. The night seemed endless, a stretch without measure, yet her footsteps grounded her to the present moment. She turned slowly inward, carrying the silence with her, like a fragile companion that refused to leave. Her gaze lifted upward, meeting the ceiling's hush, as though the stars themselves had followed her inside. Mary stepped back from the window, her eyes still on the night sky, wondering if tomorrow would feel the same. She pulled the blanket tighter, holding it close to her body, trying to keep the quiet warmth inside. The house around her was silent, every wall and corner still, as if the world had stopped to rest. She lay down slowly on the bed, closing her eyes with care, hoping that dreams would come gently. The wind outside grew softer, brushing against the walls like a quiet voice telling her to rest now. She listened for a moment, waiting for another sound, but the night stayed calm and steady. Her eyes grew heavy slowly, the kind of tiredness that feels safe, like sinking into warm water. She thought of the garden again, the hidden place behind the walls, and wondered what secrets it kept. Her breath slowed down gently, rising and falling in time, steady like the ticking of a clock. The blanket felt safe and soft, wrapping her like an embrace, and she let her body relax fully. The lamp still glowed faintly, but she no longer cared, her eyes closing deeper with each breath. Dreams waited somewhere near, just beyond her thoughts, and she felt herself drifting toward them. The silence of the house held her, quiet but not empty, like a hand guiding her into sleep. Her body grew still at last, the night surrounding her gently, and the room rested with her. Mary shifted slightly under the blanket, finding a softer place for her head, letting her body sink deeper into the bed. The window no longer drew her thoughts, for her eyes were closing, and the night outside faded quietly away. She let out a long breath, the kind that empties the chest, leaving only calm and a gentle stillness behind. The house creaked once in the distance, a sound soft and ordinary, like wood settling into its rest. Mary did not move this time, for the sound did not scare her. It was part of the night's quiet song. Her hands relaxed on the blanket, no longer holding tightly, her fingers loose and still in the soft folds. Her breathing matched the silence, steady and unbroken, filling the small room with a gentle rhythm. The darkness around her felt safe, not heavy or frightening, but warm, like a room built only for her. Her mind began to wander slowly, touching pictures of gardens, voices, and skies she had once seen. Each thought drifted away quickly, like leaves floating on water, gone before she could hold them. Her body grew heavier with time, her chest rising and falling slowly, each breath drawing her closer to sleep. The lamp's glow blurred in her sight, turning softer, dimmer, until it seemed far away from her bed. Mary's lips parted slightly, but no words were spoken, only the faint breath of a child falling asleep. The world around her felt distant, as if wrapped in layers of clouds, soft and unreachable. The pillow held her head gently, supporting her dreams to come, steady as a hand on her shoulder. She drifted at last into quiet sleep, the night holding her gently, and the room resting with her dreams,